Hello, most beautiful souls. Thank you so much for being with us in this moment. It is ever joyful to have this connection with you. And we only hope that you can feel the amount of joy that we receive when we connect with you. Because when you open up to yourself, your sacred self, your spirit, your divine, your God, then you're filled. And that in itself is satisfaction extraordinaire. So thank you for being with us. Today, we are going to speak with you about loving yourself fully, including those dark emotions that you may not want to address, because that's a big part of you becoming whole and integrated. And you love those parts that are wounded. Many people call this shadow work. And we do not like this term because it implies that there's something dark or bad or wrong about this. These are just lost portions of you that are going to come home and be welcomed. And then you're going to be integrated and whole. There's nothing bad or shadowy about it. It's a party. It's a celebration of who you are becoming. So let us begin by speaking about the channel Peter's past experience this past week. Right now, he has a cold. And this is kind of interesting to him and to us in that you're going to hit a certain point where you will get colds from time to time, and they will be upgrades. They will be your body physically changing to allow more energy in as you move from silicon to crystalline based. And it's just simply what has to take place. So don't start freaking out. Oh, I got a cold. I got to check my COVID. I got to do this and that. That's part of the fear mentality that keeps us stuck and keeps us small. That was designed by people who know that your upgrades include physical changes. And so they want you to be afraid of who you're becoming rather than celebrate who you're becoming. So it's very simple. You know, if you think you got something serious, deal with it, of course. But otherwise, rest, lots of liquids. You know that story. And then celebrate, congratulate that you have taken another step and passed another milestone and now carry more energy, and your body, your vessel, can now contain more skills and abilities. So this is a cause for joy, not for panic or worry. Now, we're going to use the example of the channel's vacation that he took last week because it was rife with so much awareness and so much clearing for him. So we're going to speak to it, and he's just going to have to sit along and enjoy the fact that he is the example for this. So he went to Puerto Vallarta for a week with his lovely wife. And before he even went there, he was feeling poor. He has plenty of money in the bank, more than he's ever had in the bank. And yet he's worried about the distant future. So he didn't book the vacation he wanted to book. He booked one slightly less. And that created all kinds of repercussions because he came from a place of poverty and acted from a place of poverty. He was reflected back to him poverty. So he arrives in this beautiful place and he realizes he doesn't have all the benefits he thought he had when he signed up. So he was angry. Now we're only talking about a few $100s worth of benefits, but he was livid, irate. Yes, even people that you may think are spiritually advanced have their feelings and they should have them fully. Now, the good part of this story was it only took him a few hours to realize paradise. I'm going to be pissed off, or am I just going to enjoy what's available to me? A story his father told him, which he hated when he heard it, was the boy who was in a room full of toys and just sat there and complained and pouted because he didn't have the toy he wanted. And then there's another boy who was in a room full of horse shit, and he was running around throwing the shit and just playing. And people say, "Why are you so happy? You're in a room full of horse shit." And he goes, "There's got to be a pony in here somewhere. Look at all this shit." So he realized this, he realized what he was doing, so he started to shift. And that led to him processing his feelings because he knows he can do this when he gets triggered. And he was so happy that it only was a gap of a few hours, not the way it used to be in his life, where it would be decades between an experience and the wherewithal. And then you wonder why you call it shadow work when you bury it for so long. So he begins processing and he's basically feeling okay with things. Now, he's mostly enjoying his vacation. And a couple of things happened to give him some gifts once he decided he started to enjoy. One was he was in a meeting with the people who have the resort, and they were showing him different options. They showed him an option that he really liked, really wanted to solve all his problems about booking and not getting his benefits and all that stuff. But he did not have the finances to do that in the moment. So he said, no, this would be very nice, but I just can't do this. Then to his total surprise, his wife says, I've got some stocks, which Peter vaguely knew that she had, really didn't know the amount or anything, because he's happy to let her have her finances in her life. It's not like it's important to him that he control that aspect of her. He's still letting go of controlling a lot of other aspects, by the way. So she just says, I'd rather have my money in a vacation that I could use for the rest of my life than in stocks, which just sit there and makes me worry about the stock market and all the stuff going on in 3D with finances. So Peter sat there and was agape. He'd wanted this, said he couldn't do it. So I said, I got this. So instantly he got what he wanted, instantly. Now, another thing that happened was he was also very, very upset about one of his benefits being that he could get 2-for-1 massages. He really wanted a 2 massage. He was so achy and tired. He didn't book it right at the very beginning because he was so upset with everything. And that's when he needed it the most. It's the stress. So he finally says, I'm just going to get whatever massage they offer. I'm just going to pay whatever price it is because I want a massage and split. So after having the event where his wife ends up securing the kind of vacation package he wanted to have for the rest of his life, he goes over to the spa with her and he walks in there and says, we want to kind of get a massage. What do you got? And the lovely lady behind the counter says, oh, we've got a 2-for-1 special going right now, which was what his benefit was that he couldn't get earlier. So he just walked in, all of a sudden surrendered to having it, and then boom, they offer him what he felt he was denied. Like that. So again, these things happen really, really fast. So he got this lovely massage. Then he proceeded to overeat that night and overdrink. He doesn't drink a lot. If he has 2 drinks in a day while he's on vacation, that's a lot. If he has 5 or 6 in a week, that's a lot. He had 3 drinks and dinner and a pizza. And he felt terrible, of course. So the next morning, his wife said, was that overeating? Got to be some emotion there. Come on, you're suppressing something. Now, he has done enough work to know that, yes, I am suppressing something. So let me check. And he realized that this was unconscious programming from when he was in his mother's womb about how she played the victim and felt life was so hard and unfair. She couldn't get what she wanted, always had to work hard. It's a struggle. So he had 9 months of that programming while he was being in the womb, unconscious, right there to him. So he'd done a lot of work on abundance and prosperity, but here's another layer that was ready to release. And again, it only took a little night of debauchery. Not that much. Pizza and an upset stomach and a headache. And you think about it, because some people will go a whole lifetime without dealing with these kinds of issues because they don't even know they have to. And this is what's really motivating them. Sometimes it's not very big. For him, it was just being in the womb. But Peter has worked with clients who's like, well, my life is in jeopardy. I could be dying soon because I owe money to people who are bad people and I'm in this place. And they've got that far. And see, this is how it's going to be as the energy increases on the planet, you have to let this stuff out. If you don't, then you'll be greeted with an illness that's a real nasty one, not just a cold to upgrade yourself, or a car crash, or a financial bonus, losing a job, a house, those kinds of things. Those are the inevitable outcomes because the energy is picking up, and you can't go into 5D carrying these bad energies. They're not bad, they're just, they're just 3D energy. And this is not to scare you, oh, I got to do this, although that was the channel's first reaction when he encountered this a long time ago. If I don't do this shit, I'm going to get my ass kicked. But he was lucky. He joined AA a long time ago and knew with his friends, he would joke, yeah, we were lucky. We only took a 2x4 to the head before we woke up. That was a soft introduction compared to what some people are out there. So there you have it. He got to do all his clearing in paradise, on the beach, in the sun, in the surf, lying by the pool. That's a whole different thing than waiting till things get really, really horrible. So he wants to brag. He's saying, come on, brag, Dave, what a good work you've done. You've done a good job. And everybody wants to hear that. So we can say that, yes, you've done a good job, Peter. But you also, listening to this, have done a good job. Because you understand there's options for you. And even people that you don't think will do it. People who fight it every step of the way because it's not science. It's not proof. You can't believe it because it just hurts when you start. And you have so much backlog of terrible emotion. It's not terrible that it's an emotion. It's terrible that you suppressed it. The pain is actually in the suppression, not in the release of the emotion. That's where the pain comes from, is the resistance to it. So you have this backlog, and then when you start to let it out, it's hard because you're not used to it, so it can get stuck. And the channel always jokes, a half-expressed emotion is worse than a suppressed one. And it is temporarily, but it'll clear in a day or two as you complete the expression, and then you'll have your freedom. Now, some people don't get that freedom right away. Some do. You just get this. And other people, we recommend you see the parable of the freight train, about what happens with your mind after you've had a big release and a big experience. We'll put a link to that below. Yes. Because you'll want to run on the same track you've been running on. And so you will not acknowledge. In fact, just this morning, the channel was sending an email to somebody who was complaining about this very thing. And he told this person to make a note on your calendar for 3 months from now, to go back to this email on this day and read it. Because in 3 months, the perspective is going to be so terribly different. We think, oh, it's got to happen right away. I need this relief right away. It takes a few days to get there, sometimes a week or two. If you look back 3 months from now, or just then I'll say, hey, what happened 3 months ago? What happened 6 months ago? What happened a year ago? You'll know you're completely different. You know you're on the right path. And it may not be that you just had this beautiful, wow, it happened. I'm so clear and free. Maybe that you go to the vacation on the beach and it's just a lot of difficulty. It's super, super funny that the channel was totally bitten by sand fleas one day. Just up and down his legs. Itchy, witchy. And he started laughing about that because once he got over the agony of the itch, he's like, yes, bug bites, little gnawing and nagging bits that just sit there and fester. So I'm being shown that on the outside because of what's on the inside. And once he got clear on that, he just laughed about it. And that's how his whole vacation was. That was beautiful. And he was relaxed and he got to be on the beach and enjoys lots of fun. And it was a work trip. So just because you're on vacation doesn't mean you have to stop doing your work or that you will stop doing your work. You don't hit that bliss point and then, I've ascended, I am the guru. It's like that. You're always going to have your bits of growth. And they're always going to be challenging in the level they need to challenge you at. If it was easy, you wouldn't get the lesson. You wouldn't learn it. All right? It's because you're moving into 5D doesn't mean you've got 6, 7, 8, 9D down yet. So you'll have your growth and your challenges. The question is, would you rather do it on the beach or would you rather do it while you're kicked out on the street and seeming hopeless? So you need to make those choices beforehand, just like the channel Peter did not make the choice beforehand to go and book his vacation from a place of wealth in his mind. Instead, he booked his vacation from a place of poverty in his mind. So there we have it. We hope that by laying bare the trauma that Peter had to enjoy, because it was really quite enjoyable, and the leaps and bounds he took from seeing it, we hope that you can get a little solace and know that things are just going to be fine. In the end, it's all going to work out. And again, if you don't see that yet, just look back 3 months and you'll start to notice how many different you are now. And if you look back a year or 5 years, you won't even recognize yourself. So it's happening. Celebrate the moments. And especially with the energies coming through now, it seems that the channel is telling the people he works with like 4 or 5 times a day, he's telling somebody, laugh, laugh, play, laugh, play. So laughter yoga is on YouTube all over. Enjoy it. Find an old TV show that really made you laugh when you were young and stick to it. It takes 3 to 5 days to get out of this mindset. So you just start laughing, and then that'll change your energy. Then, of course, play. Play, play, play. Okay? Don't do this as hard work. Spend an hour at the most each day working on yourself, and then spend the other 23 hours play. And if you haven't created the lifestyle yet where you can play 23 hours a day, where you have to sit there and do work and stuff, do it with the mindset of, this is joyful to me. And if you can't, then change your surroundings. You no longer have to be the cog in the drudge wheel of work slavery. See, that's the whole thing, is, do you honestly believe you're going to be taken care of? Because when we go on this journey, it is a leap of faith. And if you honestly believe that, then everything comes to you. It may not come to you and then just roses wrapped up in a bouquet with chocolates, but it will come to you. It may look like a vacation where you struggle a little bit, but it's still a vacation. You've got this. You are so magnificent. We can sense the people watching this, and we can see the ahas that many of you are making in this moment. And the rest of you will come around to it. This we know. Many blessings to you.